Hello, my name is Christopher. Today I'm going to show you how to install Adguard Home on Runtipi. So, a little bit about this series. I'm going over home labs, going installing things, getting things set up, everything like that. So if you like that, subscribe, comment, like, and support the channel, and let's get started. So I forgot my thinking hat, so I had to put it on. Okay, so the home server management made easy, and it's free and open source. It's to where you install your favorite self-hosted apps without the hassle of configuring and managing each service. So you have an app store. It has like 130 apps in it, which are Docker composed underneath. So it's a one-click install. SSL certificates are supported. Easy updates and configuration. So it just makes it to where you don't have this. You don't have to deal with the Docker Compose. You can just use the UI. It does use traffic in the back for the proxy. So let's get to installing the Adguard Home on Runtipi. So before we can install Adguard Home on Runtipi, we need to make sure port 53 is clear. And whenever you install Ubuntu on a fresh install, it will have systemd service started already. So I built a script to where it walks you through and it clears that port off. So I'm going to start in Big Bear scripts. It will be down in the description so you can get to it. I'm going to go in the disable DNS service. And then I'm going to go into the disable DNS service.sh. And then I'm going to start with bash. I'm going to check for root privileges. And then I'm going to display open files using lsof or netstat. This just disables, this just shows the services that are on listening on port 53. And then I'm going to ask the user if they want to continue, because I don't want this to run automatically and just disable the service and the user don't even know what happened. So I want to give a little confirmation to check if they do want to disable these services. So at first it'll show the services and then it'll ask the user if they want to disable service. They just type Y or N. So Y is yes and N is no. When N is pressed and executed, it'll say script execution aborted and then exit with 0. So when the script gets a yes on a Y, so we'll disable and stop system resolved service. So it'll disable the services. So it'll disable systemd resolved .service right here. It'll stop the systemd resolved service right here. And then it'll say a confirmation that it has stopped that and has disabled it. And then just do a little confirmation just to check if the port 53 is clear and the script did work. We're going to check if the port 53 is clear right here. It's going to echo that out to the user. And then it's going to use lsof. And then it's going to say if port 53 is clear or port 53 is still in use. So if you get port 53 is still in use, that means the script did not work and there's something that it didn't disable and stop. So you can go over here, you can go backwards, and you can do this by yourself too without the script. So I did put that in here. And this is how to use it. You just copy this right here, and then you go over to your LXC or wherever you have this installed, and you run this in the terminal. So I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to go over to my LXC and run it. So I'm going to go on my LXC, so I'm going to run Tipi, and then console, and then in your terminal. If you're not running in an LXC, you would just need to SSH into your server, wherever that is. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste in the script. So I'm going to press return or enter. It's going to say that 53 is taken, and something is listening on it, which is systemd resolve right here. And then it's going to ask you if you want to proceed. I'm going to say yes. And then now port 53 is clear. So it removed the systemd resolved .service right here. Then it's checked if port 53 is clear, and then it said port 53 is clear. So the script worked, and now we can install Adguard Home on Runtipi. So now we're going to go into your Runtipi, and I did do a video on installing Runtipi on Ubuntu, and you can go see that. It'll be down in the description. So now I'm going to go to App Store right here. I'm going to see Adguard right here. And then I'm going to say install. Now, if we didn't clear the port of 53, you would get an error right here because port 53 is taken and it can't be listening on port 53 and when something else is listening on it. So now I'm going to install it. I'm going to say install right here. And then the app is installed successfully. So you can see that the settings are still here, so you can use that, and then you can open it, and then you can stop it. You can also see basic information, and it's listening on 8104 on the proxy side, and then the proxy is going into the Docker container. So now I'm going to go ahead and open it. You'll get adguard.tipi.lan, or you can use the IP address. So I'm going to use the IP address right here. And you can see it's up and running, so we can start testing it out. So now I'm going to test if it works inside of my terminal right here. I'm going to do an NS lookup on Big Bear Tech World, and I'm going to use the Adguard Home on Runtipi. And this is the IP address. It's listed on port 53, which is the DNS port. And then you can see it did resolve my IP addresses to Big Bear Tech World. So now I'm going to NS lookup Google and just see if it works. And it looks like it did work and it did resolve. So it looks like the Adguard Home is working and up and running on Runtipi. So now this is what it looks like when you get a few DNS queries through it. You can go ahead and see that it's blocking domains now. And it's seeing top queried domains down here. And you can go in here. You can see the general settings. You can see the DNS settings. It's using Quade 9 by default. You can come down here and get some examples. Or you can go ahead and go look at other things like Cloudflare or something. The Bootstrap DNSs are for DNS over HTTPS and DNS over TLS, because what happens is it needs to resolve the IP address to those domains. So you can test the upstreams down here, so they're working. So we got the Adguard Home running and installed on Runtipi. So that was the goal of this video. So I just showed you how to get Adguard Home running and working on Runtipi. I cleared the port off 53 just to make sure that that's open, because if it's not open, you will get an error when you install it on Runtipi. So now I installed Adguard Home on Runtipi. I test if it's working. I put the IP address of the Runtipi Adguard Home on the DNS settings on my Mac. And then what my Mac done is it went to that Adguard Home. It checked if it's in the block list. It had the block list, so it blocked the domains that were in the block list. And then it allowed all the other domains, and then it sent it to the upstream server, which Adguard Home defaults to Quade 9. It went to Quade 9. Then it asked Quade 9 what was the IP address for that domain. And then brought it back down for the IP address and then sent it to my computer, and I was able to access those domains. So that's a little brief explanation of what it done. So if you like this tutorial, subscribe, comment, like, and support the channel. And if you have any video suggestions or you need support, you can go down Big Bear Community and join our Discord. It's down in the YouTube description, and stay tuned for more.